The fetus enters the second trimester, the middle 3 months of pregnancy. Although tiny still, no bigger than a fist, she is now less delicate, and there is less risk of a miscarriage. Miscarriage is the most common in the first 3 months, when new cells are developing. An imbalance in the immune system, stress, if the mother has previously given birth to a boy, could all increase the risk. Only 50% of fertilized eggs survive all the way through pregnancy. In most miscarriages, the mother is unaware of what has happened and may mistake her miscarriage for a heavy period. As they develop, initially male and female fetuses have identical genitals. Both sexes have a protuberance which for boys will become a penis and for girls a clitoris. At 12 weeks, the only difference is that they stick out at different angles. Looking at an ultrasound, an expert might guess the sex of the baby based on this angle, but it will be a few more weeks before there is a clear difference between male and female genitals. But in each case, the sex organs will already be hard at work. For a male, the testicles will be producing testosterone, and the ovaries of a baby girl will already be busy making her own supply of eggs. After 4 months, the fetus will be up to 14 centimeters long. The nervous system is up and running, and her movements are increasingly coming under the control of her brain. She is much more mobile now. Muscles are flexing, fingers and toes are separate and defined, and bones are hardening. Hands develop before the feet. This could be because hands are going to be used first once the baby is born. Or it could be because the hands, being important sensory organs, develop at the same time as all the other senses are beginning to form. The eyes are now closer together, giving the fetus a more human look. The central nervous system has now extended connections from the brain to most parts of the body. And the brain is establishing total control. The heart, for instance, is no longer beating spontaneously and spasmodically. Instead, the brain regulates the muscles and keeps them pumping blood at a steady 140 to 150 beats per minute, roughly twice an adult's heart rate. Using a Doppler probe, it is now possible to hear what the baby's heart sounds like.
146 beats per minute for the heart, which is just the right.
As the nervous system extends throughout the fetus, so too does her capacity to respond to stimulus. She is becoming sensitive to touch, and if prodded through the mother's abdomen, she may squirm. From 16 weeks gestation, the fetus makes lots of intricate movement. She can bend, flex, and twist fingers, hands, wrists, knees, and toes, and is already beginning to develop an awareness of the space around her. It's called proprioception. This unconscious sense of body and space helps us to interact with our environment. We take in information from a variety of sensory organs, eyes, ears, nose, and limbs, and we build up a mental understanding of the outside world. As we grow up, we take for granted the ability to coordinate our movements, to stand without falling over, to run and jump and roll down a hill. We have an understanding of where our body is and what it's doing. It has been developed and refined over the course of our early lives from a constant system of feedback. This control is something we've been developing since we were in the womb. This 4D scan shows actual footage of a fetus reaching up to touch her head. In these computer-generated images, the movements have been taken directly from observations of the 4D scans. Sensors give constant feedback to the brain, and the movement can then be refined and gradually perfected. As the fetus explores her body, she will spend a lot of time practicing her grasping reflex, grabbing hold of her hands, feet, fingers, toes, and even her umbilical cord, sometimes getting it tangled around her body. It is, however, very long. By the end of pregnancy, it will be over half a meter and very elastic. It presents no danger at this stage. The grasping reflex is something of a puzzle, as it offers a newborn baby no life-saving advantage to be able to cling tightly to things. The answer may lie in our ancestry. Life is relatively simple for a newborn human. She will be carried around with her mother in either arms or sling or pram. For a newborn ape, survival depends on the ability to cling to the fur of her mother as she forages for food or escapes from predatory claws. With their mother's lack of fur and a stable family life, human babies today are less dependent on this reflex for survival. The fetus will, however, still develop an incredibly strong grip. After about 18 weeks, the fetus's digestive system is beginning to work. She has no need to eat or drink. But as you can see in this real 4D image, she begins to swallow the fluid she floats in, the amniotic fluid. Some indigestible waste will gather in her intestine in the form of a greeny-black paste called meconium. But most of the fluid will pass through her urinary system back out to rejoin the amniotic fluid. Round about this time, when the fetus is about 18 weeks old, the mother may become aware of her growing baby's movements for the first time. Although the fetus has been active for quite some time, it's only now that the movements are strong enough for her to feel. Women who have previously been pregnant will be more alert to this slight fluttering sensation and may pick it up when the baby is just 15 weeks old. The eyes, now in their correct position, are generally thought to remain fused shut until 24 weeks. But 4D ultrasound has revealed some babies opening their eyes as early as 18 weeks. It's dark, of course, so there's nothing to see. But even if there were light, the eyes don't work this early. It's just the first sign of the blinking reflex. The fetus, which has been growing for 19 weeks, is now halfway through her journey towards birth. The roughly